Starting out. Hello, ladies.
If you're watching this right now, then you must be looking for a man. Maybe a man with some culture.
Plato's so right.
Well, that's me. Maybe a man who can protect you safely. Well, that's me too. Maybe you're looking for a man who has a reliable and sexy set of wheels.
Just give me till July, baby.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
I sound like the guy you'd like to settle for.
I'm so sorry. That was for a completely different application. It gets lonely around here. But seriously, my name is Thomas Lacy. My friends call me Tommy, and this is my video application for top engineer. I'm currently in my 4th of 5, hopefully, years at Missouri University of Science and Technology, or Missouri S&T, or just S&T. I'm dual majoring, is my excuse for taking 5 years in mechanical and metallurgical engineering. If we really want to get loose with the term engineering, then I guess I've been engineering for a long time, just building things and organizing things. When I was really little, before I could talk little, I would always line up my Hot Wheels in the windowsill, and I would always try and make little Lego creations to help Mom out around the house, like, oh, this thing you can dust with it, or whatever. Speaking of Legos, actually, about a month ago, I entered a competition for the position of the Master Model Builder at the new Kansas City Legoland.
All right, imagination at work or at play. I should just make slogans for them. It was a lot of fun. It was really tense, that, with such a small time limit and having to give you a really odd assortment of bricks to play with.
And I actually made top 10 of 170, and so that was pretty cool. My first paid job was at the age of 14 at a wood mill that my uncle owned. And I actually got to run a CNC lathe making these 30mm shell replicas for war veterans. At age 17, I got on as a motorcycle mechanic at Harper Cycle Works in Drexel, Missouri. I was pretty young. I don't think he actually knew how young I was when he first hired me, but it never really became a problem that I was aware of anyway. My first solo project was to completely restore a 1987 Kawasaki KDX 200 for the vintage racing class that they would race in town. And it was actually the owner's father-in-law's bike, so he must have trusted me a little bit. Speaking of motorcycles, I got my first motorcycle in the 2nd grade, and I started racing a couple years later, and I still have one to this day. And just this last week, I actually tore it down to the bare frame and replaced a bunch of parts. Took it to the track yesterday and rode all day and had a great time. My last job was actually an internship with Steelville Manufacturing out of Steelville, Missouri. I first started out as a water jet operator, CNC water jet operator. I would make a lot of parts for Boeing and Lockheed Martin and companies like that. Later on, I was given an engineering project to solve a problem. We used over 10,000 gallons a day just drained out to the environment, and I solved that problem and got a reverse osmosis system in that could cycle water again, and ended up saving them about $250,000. Cars have been a big part of my life since I was really little. I used to help Dad work on his trucks and his Jeeps and stuff all the time, and when I was 15, I actually bought my first car off of eBay, and it was a lime green Javelin, and until I could drive it, I worked on it all the time. Right now, my project is a 74 Gremlin X that I'm so proud of. Even though it looks like the biggest POS in the world, I love that thing. It has so much personality. There's obviously none like it in town. I actually chose engineering school because of my love for cars. When I came to S&T, the first thing that I did was join their Baja SAE design team, which is just their off-road racing team. So I got to help immediately as a freshman, not knowing much at all. I got to immediately help design and build this thing, and it was the best learning experience by far of anything I've ever done. In the 4 years that I was on Baja, I've held 3 elected positions, sometimes more than once, sometimes more than one at a time. I've written and given proposals to organizations like the Academy of Mechanical and Aerospace Engineers. I've managed the money for the team, sometimes up to $30,000, written schedules and budgets. I designed a lot. I've designed 2 frames, 3 bodies, 3 suspensions, front and rear, 1 flotation setup, a composite seat, consulted on one of our transaxles, and I even got to race vehicles that I designed and built. I got to experience failure, and I got to learn from those mistakes and come back the next year with better designs. To describe myself, honest, loyal, trustworthy, unafraid, passionate, things along those lines. I'm usually really cheerful. I've only ever actually yelled at anyone twice. I can remember specifically the 2 occasions I've ever yelled at anyone. How would my friends describe me? Hopefully they would use the same words that I just did. I like to think that I'm a decent judge of myself. Am I competitive? In high school and stuff, I didn't give 2 shits about sports, but at the same time, motocross, I wanted to win so bad. At the same time in Baja, I wanted to win so bad. What's unique about me? Actually, if I didn't go to engineering school, I probably would have gone to art school for animation or something. I love to make cartoons. And you have never seen an engineer's notes so full of doodles. So that's me, that's my application to top engineer, and hopefully I've impressed you at least a little bit, made you giggle, or if you're a girl, maybe you've fallen desperately in love with me. Thank you very much for considering me for your show, and hopefully I'll see you soon.